Welcome to another episode of Life in Bloom with Jess, where I have intimate and enlightening conversations with inspirational women in my life, asking them questions and learning from their answers they share based on their life experience. And these women have helped me along my way, and maybe they can do the same for you. My next guest is a radio star, wife, sister, daughter, and friend. She is 33 years old, born in San Diego, California, which is where I originally met her when we both started out in radio. She graduated from San Diego State University with a BA in communications. She was and still is a professional dancer. She was a creative director for the 220 dance team, and she is now the executive producer and on air talent for Mercedes in the Morning on Mix 94.1 in Las Vegas. She is my best friend, Stephanie Sidela.
Oh my God, what kind of introduction was that? I loved it.
What were you expecting?
I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting, but that was incredible. Oh my God.
How cute was that? Thank you for doing this with me.
Of course, this is one of my favorite things to do is just talk to you and just, shoot the shit and whatever. So I'm excited.
Okay, so how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Oh my God, off the bat, describe myself in 3 words. I would say charismatic.
Mm-hmm.
I would say very caring. Well, that's 2 words, so we'll just say caring.
Yeah.
And then third word, I would say passionate.
Totally. No, I agree with everything you're saying. Who is one of the most influential women in your life and why? Like, what's one of the most important lessons that she's taught you?
Wow. Of course, it's so easy to say mom, but truly, she really is. I mean, she's not just a mom to me. She is raising my twin nephews who are in middle school. She is in the city council and does so many things for her community voluntarily. It's not like she's getting paid to do a lot of these things. And she's really trying to pass on leadership in the government in her small little town and to the younger generation. And she knows that she's not going to be here forever. So she and I are very similar in those ways where like we like to give back, and I see a lot of myself in my mom.
Is there something specifically that she's taught you that you carry with you, like in your life or in your day to day?
Recently, I asked her like how does she do it all? Like how does she just get up every morning and do everything for everyone but her? And she's like, just like the Nike slogan, just do it. Just don't complain. Just
Yeah.
do it. And that I was like, we are so blessed with health, and we're so blessed just to live a day after day. And I look at my mom and all the thousands of things that she does, I'm like, she just does it without complaints or without a second thinking.
How did you end up in radio? Is that something that you've always wanted to do, or is it something that you fell into?
Radio is something that I fell into, and I never knew I would be in radio. So I was a dancer for my dad's band, and he is in a cover band. And there was a weekend where we performed at Viejas, which is a casino in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, it was a casino in San Diego, and the DJ during his sets was a radio host. His name was Sean Terrell. And my dad and Sean go way back, and he goes, "Hey, my radio station is looking for interns. I think your daughter would be fun, and he'd be great." And Sean knew me kind of from like childhood, just like my personality and what I did with dance and as a leader, and just very vocal in my community. And he
Mm-hmm.
goes, "You would do great." And so I did. I interned, and then I stayed, and the rest is history.
No way.
Yeah,
I don't think I knew that.
yeah.
So once you started as an intern, and when at least where we started, when we originally started out working with iHeart San Diego, the internship included you being on the promotions team, so the street team setting up events, and then a part of the internship as a requirement. Was this part for you as well, where you had to shadow or help a show during the week and sign up? Did you have to do that?
So I actually was assigned to one of the newest radio stations in San Diego at the time, 95.7 Kiss FM. And immediately the morning show, the morning show Chio had to needed interns, and he needed help. So I went straight to programming. And
Oh, you didn't start out on the street team?
I started off in programming.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And so I would like come in twice a week, and it was a part of my college credits that I was able
Yeah.
to get. And I accumulated that just to see like, let's see how this thing goes. So I remember going in at like 5 a.m. and helping out Chio and like posting stuff on the website and just sitting in the studio with him and like answering phone calls, getting winter information. And then my program internship ended. And then I was like, what do I do now?
Oh, and you
And
stayed with the promotions team to get hired on to stay in the building?
so I didn't expect to come back. The story goes, I graduated from college and I no longer had the internship. And I was at the Del Mar Fair randomly and I saw 95.7 Kiss FM promotions team there. And I went up to the tent and I said, hey, I used to work with Chio in the morning. And they go, no, you didn't. And I'm like, yes, I did, I swear. And
Who
like
was
I had
there?
Sirius.
Ew. That's
So
annoying.
So I was with Sirius and that's when I met Sirius and I was like, my name's Steph. And he was like, totally like, no, you did not
Being
work.
dumb. Yeah, he was
Yes.
being whack. Yeah,
He
yeah,
was
yeah,
being
yeah.
such a wackadoodle. So he
Yeah.
didn't believe me. And I'm like, that's fine. But are you guys
What
hiring?
the fuck, Sirius? That's so dumb. He's probably high. Like, this is at the fair. Like, get
It
away.
was
That
at the
is
beer
so funny.
garden. The beer
Yeah,
garden.
he was
Okay.
definitely intoxicated.
Something. Well,
Yeah.
I did. He didn't believe me. Long story short. And then I emailed the promotions director, and he's like, yeah, email Sherry Tennis at the time. I
Sherry.
know. And Sherry Tennis was the one that asked if I was the intern. Obviously, I was. And then that's when I interviewed for the job, and I got the promotions assistant job.
Okay, so you went there from Sean and you ended up enjoying your experience. You graduate from college. And that was just a random interaction to see the station at the fair. Was it something that you enjoyed so much so it like pulled you back in, or like what was that connection that you made going from really having no connection to radio at all? I think I'm just so intrigued by this because of where you are now in your career. What was it that made you want to go back?
It was all curiosity. It wasn't like, I'm born for this. Like, I need to do this. This is my like life plan. It was really just like, let me see what it's about. Let me just, because I was dancing so much. I was dancing like full time basically. But when in my life, dance was starting to become one of those things where it wasn't making any money for me. It was just a passion. And I'm like, what am I really going to do with my life? Like, I just graduated with a communications degree. Maybe radio is something that I can see and try. So I did, and I went for it. And then I just worked my ass off. I'm like, I can do this. I could be a producer. I can work with shows. I know how the entertainment industry is on a stage presence, like how it is to be with an audience. So it's different because I went from movement to vocal, and how I would be able to translate and transition into that it was difficult, but it was also kind of the same. You're there to entertain, make people
It's still
laugh.
performance. It's still
Yes.
performance driven.
Yes. So in that life, it was really just me being curious. And then I just went on the street team, and then, yeah.
That is so weird. I don't know why I didn't know that. I don't know why I'm so shook by that answer.
Because we never really talked about this.
That is so weird. Okay, so you're hired on the promotions team, but were you there that long before you became a board op? Was it kind of like almost like a random in between for you to really get to where you wanted to be, or was the promotions team like an experience that you wanted?
So the promotions team, obviously, as you know, it's really hard because you're on your hands and knees, you're getting dirty. It's not a glamorous job. You really are, yeah, it's hard. And I'm like, this isn't what I want to do forever, but I do love what radio has to offer. So I was said, let's see how I can become more on the programming side. So you're right. It wasn't that long. I think I had to be on the promotions team for at least 11 months, almost a year. And then
Okay.
I became a board op and switched over to programming.
Okay, and then I met you towards the end of your time with the promotions team.
Well, originally we met when I first got hired onto the promotions team, and then you had to take your little sabbatical, and then you came back, and then
Sabbatical is crazy.
you did. You took a little sabbatical, and it was literally like you started, because I got hired July of 2014 into promotions, and you were still there, and then you couldn't come back like 2 months later.
When you got hired, I was on promotions.
Yes, full.
Girl, that was a rough time for me. I don't.
We don't talk.
My memory is very spotty. So.
Yes,
Raised
girl,
with her
because you were
little shit.
you were the one of the first people I ever met, and you were like so
Mhm.
whatever about me, and I'm like, it's fine. And then we became best friends. It's fine.
Yeah. Our friendship story is so interesting for those who don't know, because okay, when we met the second time, then that's when we actually worked an event together, right? And I was like
No, your
oh wait,
memory.
the first time I met you, that's when we worked an event together and I was hungover as fuck.
Yes,
Is that when?
that was
Okay.
the SDCCU shred the event, shred whatever
Oh
event.
God, that event is so hard. That's so early. It's in the middle of a parking lot. That's
It's
terrible.
hot.
Okay.
It's in the middle of summer. We're ratchet. It's horrible. And it was with
Okay.
Shelly Wade. And then I remember taking a picture together with us three. And
Oh,
it
okay.
was so funny because,
I remember
dude,
the photo.
you remember the photo? Okay.
Yeah.
That t shirt, we didn't have any more Kiss FM t shirts. So I had to wear a white shirt with the Kiss FM sticker
With a
on it.
sticker. So ghetto. Oh my God.
That was
Radio
the
is
event.
so hood rat. I don't know what it is about me that's like super down to meet anyone and talk to anyone, but then when it becomes like a legitimate connection, I automatically assume that someone's out to get me and like they want something from me and I can't trust them. I think that's a whole bunch of other like childhood trauma that I can unpack at another time, but I remember when like meeting Stephanie is just you're like I don't know, like you're just a star, and then and anytime you meet anyone, it's like you speak to someone as if like you've known them for forever. And I think when I met you, my reaction is just kind of like, you don't even know me. Like, why are you trying to be my friend? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I
It,
think I was scared. I was scared.
I think it was just a dark time for you. Like
You're right.
you were going through a lot, and I didn't know,
You're
but
right. You're so right. Yeah. I'm like, there's
you
so much going on. What does she know? Like,
I don't know you. I'm just trying to be nice, okay?
yeah, you're right. No, it was
And
a dark period. Yeah.
because it was a really bad morning, it was just not like for you, you were having a rough morning. And for me, I'm
Mhm.
like this, like, oh my God, can't wait to meet you. Let's be friends. And you're like, what the fuck? I'm tired. I'm hungover. You're a little too much for me. And I was
Yeah. And I'm like
totally,
going through it. I'm fighting for my
you're
life.
fighting for
Yeah.
your life.
No, you're right.
Mhm.
And then finally, still fighting for my life, but out of my sabbatical.
Better
And
after the sabbatical.
after the sabbatical, still not the best, but able to have like my head above water in a way. And then we really connected when we both worked on the Kramer and Gina show. And it was just like the rest was history from there.
Yes, and instantly it's like we needed a cut too. Like well, let's try to start over. Let's start over. And immediately after we started over, it was just like instant click.
Which I love. I think that's so interesting how we separate and then still life somehow brought us together in a really like the most intimate situation. Like we were working the same job, so we were able to relate to that in the same way. And it was something that they had never done before, and like they had never had a role that, you know, in a way that what we were filling and doing those responsibilities for a show like that. So I think that's just so interesting.
Yeah, like our role was split down the middle, and we were literally one half of one person, and then literally became one half of one person. It was Steph and Jess all the time.
All the time. What's something that you were afraid to do, but you were happy that you didn't in the end?
Something that I was afraid to do, but I ended up doing it, was moving to Connecticut. I
Mm-hmm.
was truly like, I don't know if I can do this. Basically, when we were working as phone screeners for the Kramer and Gina morning show, I was ready for the next step, which was to be an executive producer somewhere. And how radio works is like you have to move somewhere, as you know, to get that job. And Connecticut, they they said they wanted me, and I was terrified. I can't do this by myself. Well, one, because my husband was my boyfriend at the time, and we discussed, hey, if this is coming, like if I move, I want you to come with me. And I had my doubts because this is all he knows is San Diego, which is another story. But basically, I was like, "You're coming with me." And if he didn't come with me, don't think I would have went. I don't know if I would have went. Yeah.
Really? If James said no, you would have turned down the job?
I don't know because I that didn't happen, but I don't know if I would have fully went on with it knowing that he couldn't come.
I mean, you guys were
You know,
together. How long were you together up until that point?
we were together for 4 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, hey, are we ready for this next step? uh, because basically, if this happens, like marriage is basically the next step. And it
Mhm.
was really having to sit with ourselves alone and being like, I know that she's the one, I know that he's the one, but this is kind of like the tell if we take that next step. And we did it. And I'm very grateful we did it.
Yeah, like
And I don't know, you're right, if I would have done it without him.
for anyone that's considering moving either just from their hometown or even across the country for an opportunity, is it something that you recommend? And do you have any advice for anyone in that position?
I always will recommend the big move if you really feel that it's right, that this is my next step. And I also think that it's important to leave your hometown. You really grow and show your weaknesses and strengths, but really it's would you want to look back saying like what would have happened if I didn't do it or did do it? What would happen if I did do it? And I think yes, I highly recommend, but know in your heart like this is going to be a growing opportunity for me, or is it a step back? You know what I mean? So I do really think it's circumstantial, but I yes, do it. Move away from your hometown. And the advice I would do it is be like, really be ready to grow, be ready to just give yourself all to, like, for me, I think God is the universe, like giving it all to the universe and being like, I trust you. I know you'll always put me in a better place. And if that is this next city, then let's do it.
Hmm. When you're struggling with something or like if you're having a bad day, how do you lift yourself up? Is there a ritual or a practice that you kind of have set in place?
That's a good question. Bad days, sometimes I'm exhausted and I just need to sleep. Like that for me is my therapy, is just disconnecting and sleeping. Another thing is going to the park with my dog. Like Momo really brings me a lot of joy. I leave my phone at home. I go to the park, take a couple laps to clear my mind, and hopefully that'll restart my day with a new attitude. And if it doesn't, I'm not beating myself up over it. I just know that maybe this I'm supposed to feel this way. I'm not always going to be happy. I'm not always going to have great days. So let's just soak it in for what it is. But honestly, disconnecting from technology is a huge thing for me because I feel like when I'm doom scrolling, like it's not making my mental health better. It's just escaping, like distraction. There you go. It's like a
Dude, it's
distraction.
so bad. It's
Yeah.
so bad. Like it I can like physically and emotionally feel myself feel worse when I am doing that. I can like feel it and it's disgusting.
Not just disgusting though. I feel like for me, it's avoiding. Like I'm avoiding my
Yeah.
issues. Like I'm gonna go on my phone to distract myself, but I am not really attacking the issue at hand, which is, do I change my attitude and put myself into a different perspective and really think about my day? Or do I go on my phone and scroll and be like, I'd rather post and get some little serotonin that I can't? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's something that you're struggling with right now and how are you dealing with it?
I feel like I'm actually doing better. Something that I really struggled with is putting myself out there, like media and radio. Like you really have to brand yourself and like put yourself out there. And before I would like get into a little bubble because I'm so used to as a producer putting everyone else in the spotlight that it was hard for me to be like owning the spotlight and like shining in the spotlight because I'm always like, no, go to the right a little bit, go to the left. Okay, perfect. And I'm posting for them. You know what I mean? And for me, I have had to really like everyone can share the spotlight. Everyone can be in the spotlight. Don't be afraid to do it. And I want to keep reminding myself that, but I've done better. Like I'm here, like I'm trying to host more events, put my time into things like doing, like what am I doing on a day to day basis to brand myself. And that is like my physical struggle because I have like multiple struggles, but that's like my main physical struggle.
So when you say putting yourself out there, do you think it's because like you mentioned the position that you're in is as the producer role, it's to like putting on the show, navigating the show, directing the show? Do you think that there's a part of you that has convinced yourself that like you can't or don't deserve to be in the spotlight as that role?
Yes, that's exactly it because of my imposter syndrome that I'm trying to break, where I doubt myself. I overthink. I'm so critical on myself that I'm not being nice to myself, or at least I was. And I'm being nicer to myself, saying, like, don't overthink. Don't, be who you truly are, be authentic, be genuine. And I know I am that. I just don't know what that mental block is in my head where I can't figure out where you deserve it. It's like I feel like sometimes I don't deserve it. And there is no X, Y, or Z or ABC to that answer, because there really is no reason why for me to feel that way.
Mhm. That is no, I think that's true. I think a lot of people feel that way, and I don't know what it is. I mean, it has to go back to some sort of situation that any of us have experienced at a young age, or maybe it honestly, or maybe it could even be like social media now and the information that we're being fed of like constantly like this is what you need to be X, Y, and Z. This is what you don't have enough of. Like this is how you should like, this is how you should be. But it's so frustrating. And like it's so weird for me to like on regarding conversations that we've had about that particular situation that you're experiencing and like having that imposter syndrome. It's so weird for me because I do not see you that way, and I've never seen you that way. Like have always felt like, well, one, I think how I mentioned earlier how I feel like we're connected. Something that's really special about our relationship is I just feel like, I mean, yes, you are 2 years older than me, but even moving that aside, there's just certain life experiences that you go through first that have always been kind of like a guiding post for me, which I think is why we're so close. One, because I mean, it's so rare to have like a best friend that's doing the same shit as you. It's like, I mean, it's a lifesaver to be able to talk about those things. But I have just something that I've always admired about you is your confidence. Like I have just always felt like you are one of the most confident people that I know. And I mean, to me, you've always seemed that way. Like wherever we are, whatever room we're in. So when you said that to me for the first time, I was like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, what are you talking about?
I know. And I thank you for saying that to me. I know we've discussed this. It's just something that I battle, and it's maybe from childhood, or I just need to see a therapist, but
Hmm.
it's it's weird. It's like I can put on this physical face, right? Like I can go into a room and I can be confident, but when you put me in my room in my thoughts, I
Mm.
get that way.
Hmm.
I break down sometimes where I self-doubt and I self-think overcritical, like I said, and I overanalyze like how I am in person, and I'm like, that is sometimes just so fake. Like that's so fake.
No. Oh, you mentioned how you're being nicer to yourself, or you're basically like trying to redirect those thoughts. What are some things that you're doing to help that so you're not going down that road that has been harder for you to avoid?
Redirecting thoughts is the instant that I start feeling those thoughts, I negate and I say, nope, we're not going there.
Hmm.
Because once I let that little thought go and it keeps continuing to just be a monster, I can't get out of it sometimes. And I go to bed angry at myself. So, again, right when I start feeling that way, I just let's think happy thoughts. Let's think about what I need to do tomorrow. Let's think about my priorities where I really need to lie. And I also tell myself that I'm not my thoughts, that I am not who I think I am. It's just my brain, rewiring my brain to make sure, like, hey, who are you really? Look at yourself in the mirror and don't devalue yourself, because I know how far I've come. And I also devalue that too. I also devalue, like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm in this position. How did I get here? But no, I worked for it. I
Yeah.
did the work.
Something I've always admired about you, and again, maybe I'm only seeing the end result. I mean, you could be spiraling internally, and I have no idea. But but to me, your confidence and also your like decision making ability is something I admire about you. Like it's something that I talked to Gerald about too. Like when it's either you or like about you and James, where you have always been like, this is what we're doing, or we're going here. I feel like if anyone has ever been in these situations, I'm so guilty of it. Is like, it's hard for me to make a decision I'm getting a lot better at it now, but like making a decision for myself or letting others affect what I'm going to do, or like feeling guilty and letting them dictate about anything. I mean, it could relate to like even us going out and like being like, I'm leaving, or like, I won't leave because I'll feel bad about so and so. And like, I don't want to tell them that I want to leave. I feel like you guys have always been so good about like, this is where we're gonna be. We're gonna be here. You guys can see us here. If not, like, bye, or like, we're not gonna. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Wait,
You
give me
have
an example. Give me an
okay.
example.
Let me just try to. Okay, let me try to
And you
think.
can generalize it
Just okay for example, okay, I'm gonna make this up, but this is something that you guys would do. So like, let's say we're all in San Diego, and like there's a bunch of us in town, and like we all want to go to like some place, and like we want to like stay at this one place, and like whatever. Let's say you and James are like, nah, that place is whack, but like we're gonna be here. You guys have fun. You guys can come see us. We might see you on the way, but like we're going to be at this spot. Like that is you guys, right? Whereas me, I could like literally hate this place, and I will go with the group. I will go with the group, and I'll be like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I maybe don't even want to be around these people, but like I will still go. You guys are not that way.
we
And
are not.
so, yeah, you're not. How? Like,
Okay,
what? Is that
so
just who you are?
so no, like, okay, I used to be like you. I used to be that girl. I swear to God, I just wanted to be with my friends.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
if they were pissing me off, then I'd leave. That's the
Mhm.
one thing though. Like I wouldn't stay, but I would be like, I'm here for so and so's birthday at
Yeah.
some whack place, but I'll go because I love them. I'll stop by and I'll be like, before though, like because knowing, like, let's say this is planned a month in advance, knowing that it's whack, I don't want to be like, you should be changing your plans. I will recommend being like, hey,
You
do
will though.
you
You will literally, but you low key do that. Like if you have a better idea, you're like, but have you thought about this?
after like
Yeah, you're
not
right.
not in replace but like
Yeah,
hey if the party's still going do we want to try so and so like all across the corner whatever
yeah.
because I've learned to value my time more because we're getting older. I don't want to be doing shit I don't want to do. Like you have
Mhm.
that choice, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And James even put the lid on it when we got together. He was like, absolutely not. Like I love them and I want to see them, but we also know that like it's a Sunday and we have to get ready for work and we have to put ourselves
Yeah.
first. And I get it, like they're our friends and we need to start make we needed to make time for them. But it's truly that. It's truly like our time is valuable. Let's get here, let's go here, no time wasting, let's go.
Okay, how do you apply that decision making and assertiveness to knowing the difference between giving something another chance or cutting it off? And that can
Mm.
relate to friendships, career, romantic relationships. How do you do that?
Cutting things off, like let's say it's not working with so and so as friends or whatever. Like
Yeah, I mean, it
yeah.
can be that way. Like like either one. Like I feel like you have you have experience going through that with close friends, and then you also have experience with that with jobs where it's like where you currently are didn't work out at first, and it could be scary to give them another chance and go back to them after they had already let you go, you
Yeah.
know? But it's like how do you make that decision of okay, I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna give it another chance versus like this is something I have to walk away from because I feel like that there's a very fine line and it's hard to be on the fence and deciding which one of the two it is and
Mm.
which one of the two is best for you. So whatever you want to speak on because I feel like those are
Mm-hmm.
really difficult things to handle.
With work, pretty simple just because it was the pandemic. So I knew I was laid off, and hundreds and millions of other people have been laid off too. Right. So I knew it wasn't personal. And I went back knowing that this is an opportunity for me that I know is not going to probably come in ever. So I
Mhm.
came back knowing that they fought for me back, and I was truly grateful. I know I'm not going to get that opportunity again. That was an easy decision, just because I knew I could grow more from it. And that's
Mhm.
really big is growth. Can it give me growth? Can it show me lessons that I haven't learned yet? And I knew that in my gut, right? And I applied that for everything. Everything that I no longer served me, I had to move on from. And sadly, friendships was huge for me because losing a friend from like middle school was difficult, and I knew that relationship no longer served me, and we had different goals in life, and we fought over things that were just like, this isn't something what best friends do. And sadly, I
Yeah.
had to learn from that and move on. And although it still hurts me to this day, truly that relationship no longer served me. And I think maybe my relationship with them didn't serve them either.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to see it always as the bigger picture. Like, it's not always about me. It's sometimes about the other person, or just even as the collective. Like, I really truly believe that if it's not for me, then I can easy move on easier. Although it wasn't easy to move on, I
Mm-hmm.
know that a little bit of part of me every day moved on slowly, and it still hurts. It still hurts. It truly is one of those things where you just have to close the door and just keep walking away when you know it doesn't serve you anymore.
And is that something that you just kind of have to accept as well? Because I feel like sometimes people are always like, it doesn't feel right, or if you're feeling pulled back to that person, like sometimes walking away is going to hurt then, and it's always going to hurt. But ultimately, the better decision for you is just to not be involved anymore.
Yeah, I think I also learned a lesson about movement, forward movement. And when I kept putting myself back in the past, I was just getting more anxious and just
Mm,
depressed.
mm-hmm.
So I observed my feelings around the thoughts of the matter. Like, what are
Mm.
my emotions when I talk about it? What are my emotions when I am discussing about this person?
Ooh, that's
Is it
good. Yeah.
love? Is it happiness?
Is it
Is it,
anxiety?
and if that's what I'm feeling, then I know that my body is telling me it's time to walk away. So it's a really important
Yes.
to be forward moving with your emotions. And sometimes they're not going to come the next day, but you want to be in a happy, better place. And if this isn't serving you any type of joy, it's like the Marie Kondo, like, is this serving me joy? And you
Yeah.
put it up into your face and you look in the mirror and you look at
Would
it as
I
an
wear
item.
this if there was shit on it, or do I want to? Okay.
Girl,
Yeah.
exactly. And
No,
now is
for
how I
real.
had to put it, as a physical aspect. Like, let's look at it and observe, because I'm like an observer. I like to reflect. And I think that has brought me, yeah, better places. It's brought me to a better place.
Hmm. How long have you and James been married now?
Oh my God, we've been married since 2018. So is that almost 7 years? Oh my God,
That is so long.
I know.
Wait, when's your wedding anniversary?
Or November 3rd, November 3rd.
Okay. Can you talk about your are you comfortable with talking about your origin story?
Yeah,
Okay.
we could
So
talk about
you're
it.
okay, yeah, because your story, I knew that you guys were friends, but obviously we went into more depth when you guys visited us in Baltimore, and I didn't know how literally intense it was. And the origin story is so intriguing to me because you guys went from being really good friends for a really long time, like platonic friends, then to taking the risk of being in a relationship with, which is a really scary leap of faith for anyone to take. And I
Yes.
just like, I want to know about it, and I just feel like anyone who's considering, like, how do you know, and like, is it worth the risk, because it's crazy, because like once you do it there's no going back.
Um, where do I start? Okay, so
How
James,
long were you guys friends? Okay, so you guys
okay,
met dancing.
yes. Okay, there you go. We'll start there. So we
Yeah.
met in 2010. Okay, we meet at 2010. He auditions for our dance team 220. I am
Mm-hmm.
the director at the time, and he's a cool homie. We're all close. Like, everyone on the dance team, we're all best friends basically.
How long were you guys best friends platonically for?
Okay, we didn't really become best friends until 2013, 2012. Take that back.
Mm-hmm.
2012. Because so James started dancing on the team for 2 years, and then he auditioned to be a director with us. So
Mm-hmm.
then when we were, okay, now let me even get even closer, is the directors. We're a group of
Mm.
directors, and the
Mm-hmm,
group of
mm-hmm,
directors are very, very close. And
mm-hmm.
we spent like 3 to 4 days out of the week together. That's how close we were.
Wow.
And we
Okay.
would take like bonding events and stuff like that. And 2012 was about the time we started working together, directing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were with other people at the time. So it
Okay,
was
okay. When you guys
very,
met initially, you guys were dating other people?
yes, we were dating
Okay,
other
so
people.
automatically that, and there was like never any interest or any thought whatsoever when you guys first met?
No, not when we first met, no. When
Okay.
we started directing, though, I was like, oh, he's kind of cute. Eh.
Oh,
I was like, oh, he's kind of cute. But I never
but
had feelings for him.
obviously, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Then I broke up with my ex, and he broken up with his ex for a while, and we just kind of like I was in such a heartbreak, and I remember that I was crying to James once, and this was the turning point for me. So James goes, and he's like the shoulder to cry on, and I'm like, oh my God. And then I like looked at us, and then I had this gut instinct. I'm like, this is why we were no longer, like, me and my ex were not supposed to work out.
You
Because
were like, I'm in love with him.
yes, that's it.
In that
I
moment, you literally were like, oh my God, this is the person I'm supposed to be with?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was crazy. It was like
yeah.
something came over me,
Yeah.
and I
It's
was
like
just
it's
like,
like a visceral feeling. It's like you're
exactly.
it's literally like that.
It's
It's like that.
that is it. That was it. I was in my dying grave crying over this heartbreak. And
Over
then
this other man, and you're like, "What?"
I'm
You're
like,
like looking at the hand. You're like, "What?"
but it's also like, am I a red flag?
Oh, you're like, "Oh my God, am I just like in my feelings and do I just like want to be comforted by a man right now? Like is this yeah,
Truly,
girl."
no, truly.
Mhm.
Like, so I
Yeah.
was having a lot of
It's hard
issues.
to separate those thoughts when you're down fucking bad and like you've been fucked up, and so it's just kind of like, yeah, it's hard to like separate what is it that I'm feeling actually.
So it took a lot of reflecting
Okay.
and being like, is this it? And if so, how is, let's make sure he's not just some like booty call or some like, what is it called when you go from one guy to the next? Like
Homie hopper.
homie
No,
hopper?
not
Oh
homie
no,
hopper. No, not
no.
homie
You know what I'm
hopper.
trying to say?
Rebound.
Thank you.
But
He's not a
wait,
rebound.
so when you have that feeling, how long did you sit with that of like, oh, I think I like him more than a friend before you, I don't know, like dove deeper into the feelings?
Months. It took me months.
To
So
admit to yourself or to see?
to see, because I still wanted him around and I still wanted to date him. So I kept him at arm's length, and he kept me at like 7 feet, eight
But
feet.
did you tell him that you liked him?
Yes.
When? Like how what's the time frame between you now realizing that you like him to like you telling him that you like him more than a friend?
So I never really told him. He just got the hint. He was like, "Oh, okay, this girl's into me," because I would like flirt with him via text, and it took me like 3 weeks. Okay.
So out of nowhere, you're going from hey, you're just my homie, and then you immediately go from 0 to 100 of like I want to be with you. You're
Yeah,
crazy.
I'm wild. I am wild,
With no
and
warning, you were just like, this is it.
this is it. This is it. And I just cannot explain the feeling of knowing that this is it. Like, this is the person. I
Yeah.
can't. I can't.
Was it
I
like a feeling of like I must have you?
Yes.
Yes, I know that feeling. And it's
Exactly.
scary. It's like it's literally like an outer body experience, and it's something I had never ever, and you know me, I'm awkward as fuck. Like I'm so like, ew, don't look at me, right?
You're like,
But like,
stop.
yeah, I'm like, don't look at me, like, ew. But when the first time that I saw Gerald in person after like hating him for years,
I know.
it was like this feeling of it was like I couldn't handle looking at him one, but it was a feeling inside that I had never felt about any other man in my life ever of like, oh, like you're mine. Like I have to be with you. Like, and it's like this weird crazy fucking like I'm drawn to you, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
It's
crazy.
magnetic. It's
Yes.
magnetic. And with
Yes. Yeah.
James, that's what's crazy, is because that makes sense for you and Gerald, because you've never met him in his life.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's so scary, because it's like you guys were friends and you guys were around each other for so fucking long, and you guys have all the same friends. And I think that's what's just so weird to me. It's not, I think maybe not weird is the right word, but I think I'm just so intrigued by it because it takes a lot of bravery to have that thing switched, and then you're like, okay, let's fucking see if this works, because you guys were friends for so long.
And our friends were like, you're tripping. So
Yeah.
our friends were like, you're tripping. You guys don't, you're going to, Steph just got out of this long relationship. Like, Steph, you're crazy. I'm like, I know I'm crazy, but like, trust
But I
me.
don't care. Yeah, but I don't care.
And when they said like, okay, like we trust you guys, because they viewed me and James like as the group of directors that we were, as bringing people together. Naturally,
Mm-hmm.
we were like mom and dad, and we
Yeah.
didn't really see it until we started dating. It was like, oh my god, when we were the group of directors, we were like the mom and dad, the life of the party, starting the party, bringing people together, come over, blah blah blah.
And when it's
And
such a close knit of friends, it's really scary because if you guys, if something would have gone wrong, then it would have affected everybody because you guys were just so involved with each other.
thank God it worked out.
For real.
Thank God it worked out. And I think that's why I had to trust this feeling, this random magnetic feeling. And I just think that it wasn't the time and place for have that magnetic feeling, because we were with other people.
Yeah.
We weren't like God, like the universe was just basically like, not yet. And
Yeah.
it's not like I was waiting or like pushing for that. They were just like,
No.
it's going to happen. And it did.
Yeah. Invisible string almost, do you think?
I think so. In a sense, yes, because it wasn't the right time and place at when we were before. Like when I was going through
Mm-hmm.
that breakup, it's like I had to go through this breakup, go through this traumatic experience and grieving feelings for him to be the shoulder to cry on. And he wasn't with someone at the time either. So it all just kind of worked out. And he even knew, he's like, I've been in your spot before. Like, don't even try and like come at me with these new feelings. And he like talked to me about it. He's like, no, like you need to grieve, you need to go through this heartbreak, and I don't want to be a rebound. And I made it clear to him. I was like, after those months of really sitting with myself and being like, am I in love with him, or do I want to see where this goes, because it's a huge risk. And I
Mm-hmm.
told him, I'm like, no, I know you're not a rebound, I know these feelings are true. Not I've not been in love with you, but I've loved you for a long time.
Oh
And it
my
was
God.
easy to translate into a romantic relationship.
Okay, so when you tell him that you have feelings for him, like what is that transition for him, like as your friend?
He was tripping. He was like, "You're tripping, girl. Like, don't." And then he's like, "Don't do this." He like had to talk to his sister and our friends and really have to make a wise decision for himself. Like,
But did it wake something up in him too? Is he like, wait, do I actually have feelings for her? Like, you know what I mean?
I wish I could give you that answer, but basically he's told me yes. He's basically been like, I can see this working out. Let's give this a shot. And he fell in love with me. And I don't want to say it was immediately. I do want to say that it was easy to fall in love with me. Again, like I said, it was easy to fall in love with him.
Obviously.
I don't know.
Okay, so then you guys are together, and then you get the job in Connecticut, you move across the country, and then you elope in Connecticut in your living room. What? Like how and why? Like what made you guys get married in that way?
Well, when we first started dating back before 4 years before Connecticut, I was so crazy about him that I wanted to elope to Vegas with him.
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
And he was like, are you serious? I was like, I know you're the one for me. That's how
Before
convinced.
before moving, you were like,
Before
let's get
moving
married in Vegas.
four
That
years. So when we first started dating, this is how crazy I am, Jessica. When I was 4 months into dating James, I said to him, we took a trip to Vegas together and we watched Justin Timberlake concert. And we weren't officially boyfriend and girlfriend yet, but I woke up one morning just from that trip in Vegas. We were still here in Vegas. Funny how I'm living here now. But anyway, yeah,
wow,
yeah.
crazy.
And it was like that Sunday morning, we were about to drive back to San Diego. And I go, let's get married. Ha ha ha. He goes, you're tripping. You're crazy. I know what you want out of this relationship, and just not right now. Okay. So
Blame
I
boo.
know. So then we get back to San Diego,
And you're
and
like, no, I still want to get married. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, I know I sounded crazy, but like, let's go back to Vegas and get married. And funny story, my parents eloped to Vegas and got married. And I think
Oh.
that's why I loved the spontaneity of my parents' marriage, is that it was like they were so in love with each other, they didn't need a big wedding. They knew they were the one. Let's just wake up one morning and go to Vegas and get married. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so I told him that, and he goes, well, if we do get married and elope to Vegas, I don't think it's wise for us to tell our parents. So we planned a trip 4 months down the line. So the Justin Timberlake concert was in August, and we were like, let's go back in December and elope. Just me, you, and a couple of our close friends.
Was I
So
friends with you at this point or no?
no, this was your during your
Ah!
sabbatical. This was your during
Ah!
you were
Thank
aloof.
God. Thank God that didn't happen. That would have been worse. Okay.
Okay, so it didn't happen though, because what ended up happening is when we were in the planning stages of eloping, James and I were talking in my room in my childhood home, and my dad overheard us.
No.
Them
What
thin
did he
ass
say?
walls.
Was he mad?
So my dad didn't even confront me. My mom did. So
Wait,
my
okay, that's a little, what's
yeah,
that saying? Pot calling the kettle black or whatever the fuck that means? That's like a
whatever.
little lame.
So my dad, I think the way he approached it to me about it was a joke. Like he would be like, he's kind of passive. He's not really like confrontational with when he's concerned.
Mm-hmm.
So he was just like, it's not like you guys are gonna go to Vegas and get married. Like during side conversations like that.
That is so annoying.
And so I would be like, okay. He wouldn't be like, hey, honey, I overheard you and James.
Yeah, just say it.
Mom did. Mom sat
Oh,
me and James down
yeah.
and
As the
said,
government official she is, listen, it's come to my desk and attention that the two of you, yeah,
sat us down and was like, this isn't wise. Don't you want a big wedding? Don't you want this big wedding that me and James's mom will help plan for you and blah, 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 blah.
Oh, it's, you know what? Can we, okay, pause, pause, pause. For anyone that's getting married, like, I feel like there, and I'm sure you, I mean, because you guys did what you wanted to do. Like, if there's any advice I can give, it's like whatever the fuck it is that you want to do, please just fucking do it. Because once everyone else starts getting their fucking chirps in, that's when it gets clouded. Because look at you guys ended up doing it that way anyways. Because
Yes.
that's what you wanted.
Yes. And we did not do it because mom, and it wasn't just like me and you, that wasn't like the biggest fight or biggest argument. It was more like, you guys have only been dating for 6 months. You guys
Mm-hmm.
have only been dating for this short amount of time. And for you to get eloped and married isn't the best decision for you right now. It
Okay, yeah, yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
fair,
whatever.
fair.
Yeah,
But yes. And then another argument was, don't you want us to be there? And then
yeah.
again, don't you
Blah, blah,
want
blah, blah,
mom and
blah.
mom to be? Yes. It was like all these talking points ready to
Yes,
go.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Bullet
yeah.
points on bullet points. And they were right. You know
Okay,
what?
yeah.
We
You guys
will
weren't
get married.
ready.
We
Do you
weren't ready.
believe, like, yeah, you believe in that moment you weren't ready?
We weren't ready, but we knew
Okay.
we knew we
Yeah.
wanted to marry each other. And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
what solidified it. It's like the
Mm-hmm.
stamp, the head, the nail in the coffin was, okay, yes, we are not going to get married now, but yes, we want to be with each other forever.
Yes, and that can be a very real thing, and like that's okay for like to wait. Like that doesn't mean it's not going to happen or it's not meant to happen.
So then fast forward 4 years later in Connecticut,
Mm-hmm.
it was they were so stupid. So it was during open enrollment time, right? When you have to like put in benefits and stuff like that and like jointly married, whatever the hell, for your beneficiaries or whatever the fuck. And then James wasn't working at the time, and it was just me because we moved for my job. And this was like a month into us living there. I go, I think it's time we get married. Like, let's just elope. And he goes, are you serious right now? I was like, yeah, like, let's just get married here in Connecticut. Maybe we'll go down to like this really cute garden and we'll have an officiant there. My cousin lived in New York City at the time, so it was only a 2 hour bus ride. And Christine, his sister, was visiting New York as well. So it would be an easy bus ride for both of them to come together.
Yeah.
So we're like, let's have it November 3rd, 2018. It's a Saturday. No big deal, right? And what's funny though is like what really initiated this conversation was open enrollment.
Yeah, you're like, so we should just get married, right?
So we did in our apartment because we woke up Saturday morning and it was raining. We're like, oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, we can't have it outside like we want it. And if you know, in the Northeast or even on the East Coast in general, during the fall is the most gorgeous time. It's like the
Mm-hmm.
fall foliage, the yellow leaves, whatever. And we're like, fuck, oh well, let's just have it in our apartment. So we get married in our unit, and then Swear to God, 30 minutes after we did our vows, the sun came out.
And
So
yeah, and you guys
we
have
took
the most
pictures,
gorgeous photos. Yeah.
walked around our apartment complex in downtown Hartford, and by the riverside, I will never forget, the yellow leaves were on the floor. And my cousin just took a crap load of pictures of us like at the bridge and with the fall foliage. And they were bright yellow. I mean, telling you like
Mhm.
every
No,
single leaf
the
was yellow.
brightest yellow ever.
And guess what? A week later, after our wedding, all of those leaves were gone. All of
No.
those leaves are gone. But it was like, that's crazy that we ended up getting married on the day that we wanted to. Although we thought that a rain was a setback, it really was it just bringing in all those yellow leaves and making it like just this cute little Hartford East Coast feeling.
You guys have been together for no, you've been married for 7 years, but how long
Yes.
have you been together?
11.
Okay, together
Mhm.
for 11, married for 7 years. What's your advice for making a relationship work?
Okay. I would say making a relationship work is obviously always an ongoing thing. It's an ongoing working on yourself, ongoing working on each other. And I've learned that like the way I talk and just my tone really, really is a game changer. Like if you are consistently annoyed of something that your partner is doing and you consistently tell them in a certain way, it's like, how do I reapproach the way I tell him? How do I repurpose my tone of voice, my concerns, my perspective into his perspective? Because we only see our lives through our own eyes, right? How do I get myself out of my own body, see him for what he's seeing me and how he's doing things? Like, even if it's the littlest thing, like putting the toilet seat down or just like the toilet cleaning up the sink afterwards, like those little things adds up after a bad day, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you don't want a bad day turning to like snapping in your partner into this big huge relationship issue when really it's so tiny and minuscule, right? And I know that I have so much work to do. Like I really look at like how I am with him compared to anybody else. And he's the most important relationship I know I have. So he's like my mirror, right? The way I talk to him and then he's giving me attitude, it's like, oh, it's because I gave him attitude. It's not,
Mm-hmm.
this attitude ain't coming from nowhere. Like this is stemming
Mm-hmm.
from something. So understanding him is one thing I try to do. And then when he tells me, like when he gives me criticism, when out of anybody, when James criticizes me, it's like I immediately get on the defense, right?
Mm.
Like I'm immediately like, oh my God, why are you mad at me? Like, why can't I, do anything right? It goes back to the whole thing, like the way I think, like letting myself, once I start thinking like a bad thought and then making it worse, but this time through words, right? Through words with me and James, it's our fighting. It's like one time it starts with like, oh God, like you did it again. Or it's like, oh my God, you never do this. Or you know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
increasingly, like I notice when we fight, it's like it's increasingly getting our words are getting worse. Not the fight
Yeah,
is getting worse, the words.
like
Um,
triggering.
yes, 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 yes. So my advice is to really just take a step back, really think about what you're going to say because words really, really matter in a relationship. For
Mm-hmm.
me, I'm words of affirmation, and I know James is not fully words of affirmation, but I've noticed how my words and what I say and how I say things to him affect our issue,
Mm-hmm.
or if it's going to turn into an issue.
Mm-hmm. Tone and delivery can dictate how productive a conversation actually can be.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. And I think because I'm passionate, like I feel like one of my big things is I'm passionate, is the way I talk is passionate as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And if I just take a
Same.
step, yeah, yeah, take a step back, maybe don't sound too crazy. Maybe I sound just like, hey, next time if you could just do this, versus like, oh my God, please, I've told you time and time again,
Yeah.
XYZ. I'm crazy like that. Like I'm naturally like I guess a performer or just like I'm
Yes,
naturally
totally.
on and
Yeah.
I'm like big with my
I'm
words.
I'm naturally born for this stage, so like my movements are big so the back of the house can fucking see. So what do you expect?
My arms are crazy, but really I don't mean it like that. It's just how I naturally am.
Literally.
So I just need to calm down, stop talking with my hands, and lower the voice. Lower
Yeah.
the voice.
Yeah. I relate to that, and Gerald has helped me out with that so much, especially in the beginning of our relationship, because as you know, his energy and tone is like just here always, and it
He
stays here. He's like serene.
speaks grounded. Like he is
Oh
the
God,
earth.
he literally thinks about what he says before he says it, and it's like,
Ew.
what the fuck? Like, what do you fucking mean? Which I don't, but like, he really thinks about it. He wants to think about what he says before it comes out of his mouth. And so, like, being in contact with that energy has allowed me, it grounds me. Like, it makes me not react. And also, it's taught me so much patience to where, like, and okay, what's that movie? Zootopia or something? And like the sloths are working at like the DMV, and like they're moving like this. And so like when we're having a discussion, you know what? This is the perfect example, and I respect him for this. Like, if we go to a restaurant and like we're about to order, and he knows what he wants, but like he's still looking at something, and they'll be like, "What do you want to drink?" And he'll look at the menu, and honestly, it's really not that long of a time. It's like maybe 30 seconds, but because all of us are so like this, and like when I was a server, I'm like, "What the fuck do you want?" Like, I have to go get it. Like, what the fuck, you know? But he's not even taking that much time. I think it's just because like it's just 30 extra seconds more than what all of us are used to, or what all of us are like comfortable, which really it should be fine. Like, you're allowed to take 30 seconds to think about like what you want to drink. Like, that's okay. But all of us are like, no, they're gonna look at us and think we're fucking dumb. But
Hurry up.
he's like, yeah, I'll have this. And it used to like give me so much anxiety of like, oh my God, they're gonna like talk shit about us when she goes back to the POS system and like saying we took so much time. But like, fuck that. Like, it's totally okay. And like he slows me down. You know what I mean? Whereas before I'm like, what do you mean? Hello? Let's talk now, you know? Because I'm like that.
Love that for Gerald, because being around him, I mean, he immediately is that grounding presence. But not only that, but you look at yourself and you're like, oh, wow, he takes time to think about things. Maybe I should too. Gerald really brings that energy and that good energy out of people. I mean, obviously, being at karaoke is different. But like
No,
when
that's
you're
different.
sitting down and you're deciding, or when you're talking, or
Or having a
even
conversation. I've never met anyone who thinks about what they say before they say it. Like, we just be saying shit wherever we are, on the mic, off the mic, to people. Like, we just don't. We're just like, I don't know. Yeah, I like
and
gave this guy a blowjob in the garage. Like, I don't know, what the fuck. Like, maybe think about that. Maybe think about that for a second. Maybe think about that for you. But I
yeah.
don't.
And then with James, like he's not like that. Like James is also
No, he's
very
not.
animated. And he okay, what I love about James is he can have a conversation with anybody
Yes.
forever.
Yep.
And it's not that he doesn't think about what he says, because I think he does, but it's more like
Unfiltered.
he can also just like adapt to every single person and get information
Yeah.
and be their best friend. So learning from James in that way, to be like talking to different types of people all over the world, and also just like how he gets that friendship out of people, because I'm very like, I don't like small talk, and I learned that from James. And with
Yeah.
when you're what you're learning from Gerald is also so valuable, because I think that James and I can also learn from that too.
What advice would you give your 15-year-old self?
It's okay to be hurt. It's
Hmm.
okay to be alone. It's okay that what you're feeling right now isn't okay. She was a very broken, manipulated. She was manipulated. She was just this green, very green girl. Like, I love life. And then in an instant, it was like, whew, world came crashing down. And because
Mm-hmm.
I was so naive, and I was so just like in love with love.
Mm.
And it was during a time that my parents were going through a separation. So that didn't
Mm-hmm.
help. And I think
Mm-hmm.
my 15-year-old self is probably really, really hurt right now. But I know that in time, it's going to get better. You are going to look back at that moment and just laugh, because yes, was it hard? But yes, you needed to go through it. And it's okay to be hurt. It's okay to go through the negative experiences because it's not going to be always butterflies and unicorns. You are going to shine that light for people, but don't forget to like make sure that you're shining a light on yourself and shining a light on your future self.
What's something about your life that your younger self would be very proud of?
Aw, she would be so proud of, she would be just so proud of how you were able to like move out of your hometown and make a name for yourself. I never would have thought that. I never thought that I would leave San Diego because it's such like that town. It's like born and raised and living there. And you know, why would you want to leave that beautiful town? It's, you know, although I'm no longer in my hometown, I honestly think Vegas is one of the best cities in the world. And I never, ever thought that I would live in Vegas and be on the
Mhm.
radio and do stuff for my community. And I would visit this town as a kid all the time. And I never would have thought that I would make a name for myself in this town. And I did it. And I think she would be really, really shocked and surprised, but also very proud.
You sound like a superstar, making a name for myself in this town.
I gotta own it.
No, for real. It's because it's Vegas. You know, you're like Ocean's 11. It's like I automatically think of like the ending scene of like the music in the background and they're standing in front of the fountain. Like it's for real.
No, no, seriously.
No, that's the vibe. That's the vibe.
I would have never thought. I'm like, and I could do it. And that's my imposter syndrome that would speak on that. It's like, I can't make a name for myself in this town, but I can. And it's not the Hollywood dream, it's the Vegas dream.
Literally. Okay, what are you doing for yourself that brings you joy? Like, how do you fill your own cup?
Okay, sounds crazy, but I just started a Instagram account for my dog.
Yes, no, that's the answer. You're thriving. Like, you love that.
I
You are killing, you are crushing it with Momo's account.
So Momo and I, he hates it, but like everything I do
What?
for him, he hates it.
He,
He does. He does. But
no.
he's starting to slowly like it because he's never used to like me putting like a phone in his face.
Oh, he's like,
So
what are you? Okay, okay,
so
okay.
now like he sees the phone and he's like, oh, okay, I gotta stay still. Like he's starting to learn that I'm like,
Yeah,
I need you to stay still because I need to get the perfect shot. But
yeah.
truly has given me joy. Like I love editing videos. I love matching it up with the music. I love like making captions and like pretending I'm Momo and like being the voice of him behind the camera. Like
Yeah!
I'm total dog mom, right?
You
Um,
need to start doing voiceovers.
yes. Okay. So that's something that I'm trying to do too. And
Yeah.
also include myself in his videos too, because I've
Yeah.
noticed they're all him.
Yes.
So yeah, I want to include myself more in his videos, and it's obviously not for fame or for like thousands of followers, but you know, it's just more for like my friends and family because they know Momo and they know me, and we're both just like he's my soul dog.
You love Momo. It's a creative outlet, and like making a social media account for your pet can totally bring anyone joy. That's such a fun thing. I'm so happy you did that. I don't want to ask if you have any regrets because I believe that God has a plan for everyone, but and I believe that everything happens for a reason. But is there a lesson that you learned from a hardship that you could share that might help someone if they're going through the same situation?
Um,
Unless
I
you do
want
have
to.
a regret. I don't want to like assume that you don't. That's just how I feel about them.
Yeah, yeah, no, I totally agree. I totally agree. I Yeah, no regrets. It's really learning from a hardship is really a good way to put it. I think honestly, and I still need to take care of myself with this, is my parents' separation. I took that
Mm.
really, really, really hard, and
Mhm.
I
It is a
put it,
hard thing to go through. It's a really hard thing to go
yeah.
through.
And I think that it wasn't any regrets on my end. It was just more like because I was going through such a hard time in my parents' separation that I dug it and I focused on a toxic relationship. Like I found
Mm.
love through a manipulative, unfortunately, situation. And it
Mhm.
was so horrible. I mean, no one, like going back to 15, like that was during the time during that
Mhm.
relationship, it's like I know that he was bad for me, but I continued to go back to him. I
Mhm.
continued to be like, no, we can make it work because I wasn't fighting for my healing in my parents' separation. I put it towards a relationship that was really, really negative.
Mhm.
And I was young, so I'm forgiving myself for that. Like I was very young. I didn't know any better. I'm naive. And I think learning from that was one of the biggest lessons I've ever learned. Like, I came out so much wiser. I see the red flags in people. I know when to say no. Like, when I'm like wasting my time at a place I don't want to be, it's
That
because
applies to from that. Yeah.
exactly, like, I know this isn't good for me. Like, I feel like I wasted so much time being with him, but I also gained so much wisdom from being in that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What is one of your favorite memories that we share together?
Oh my God, that's too hard. We
I
have
know
so
that's so
many.
hard. I know
Okay, let
that's
me
so
think.
hard.
Okay, Disneyland was fun, but that's like easy, basic answer. Going to LA to the Tiana Taylor listening party
Oh
was
my God, in
probably one of
Hollywood.
the craziest memories that we had because it was like we found out that day, right?
The passes weren't even ours. Like we technically snuck into that album release party.
Yes. And so you had the morning show the next day. I didn't.
Yeah.
So we
Mm-hmm.
had this like, okay, we have these tickets. We don't even know if we're going to get in because our friends sent them to us. And it was like a
Mm-hmm.
media pass, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we are like, fuck it, let's go to LA. It was at Universal Studios. And we go in, and it's like where you had studio tours, like you can see like where all the films are being made.
And
And
it was on the lot that looked like New York City.
yes, exactly. So we get in and we're like, oh my God, I don't believe we got in. We had no idea who we were going to see. We didn't know we were going
No.
to see A-list celebrities. We were just like, fuck it, it's in LA. Tiana Taylor's a big name, whatever, or like becoming a big name. And
Yeah.
we're like, let's just see what happens. So we get there and we didn't even like think about what we were getting into. We ran into Kim Kardashian, Kanye West,
Mm-hmm.
Nelly, Monica, who else? Just like you name it.
2 Chains, Meek Mill. Who else was there? The Migos. The Migos were there. Rest in peace, Takeoff,
That's
dude.
right,
And
dude.
it was so crazy. So when we got there, they put us in this like bus to get us to the lot, but the windows were like blacked out, so we technically didn't see where we were going. It was actually like low key scary. And then we get there and they like block off the lot that's like New York City, and just it's everyone in the streets, and it's just like all these fucking famous people, and we were just like, where the fuck are we, and like what the fuck are we doing? And then we go back to James's parents' house in San Marcos. I think I slept for like 45 minutes
Just the
before I had to go to
adrenaline.
work. Yeah.
Like, and then I was like, and thank God we were able to stay in San Marcos because it was like near, it was in North San Diego. So we're like, fuck yeah, let's stay at James's. And I was
Yeah.
like, dude, you have to spend the night. Like, don't even think about
No,
you.
there's no way. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no way.
But yeah, dude, you and I really did that. I did not expect that. I knew that you
No.
were because I had a meeting that night. I was like, I have a really important meeting. You're like, you need to push it. Like, you're crazy. You're crazy for not going to this. I'm like, you're right. Okay, fine. Because you're like, there's gonna be people there. We don't know who it is, but there are gonna
Yeah.
be people there. I'm like, you're right. I have to. And I remember calling my director at the time. I was like, hey Anna, just want to let you know, like, I have a really huge work event tonight, and I can't get out of it. I'm so sorry I have to miss the meeting tonight. She goes, because, and she was very strict. Like, I was scared to tell her because it was getting
Yeah.
closer to like this big thing we were planning. I'm like, she's not gonna let me, like, a month out. Oh my God. You're like, just fucking do it. You can't go. I'm
I'm
like,
the
you're right, I
worst.
can't.
Yeah. You're like, this is really important. I don't give a fuck. Nothing's more important than seeing Kim Kardashian. Who gives a fuck? Oh my
We
god.
had no idea Kim Kardashian was gonna be
We had
there.
no idea. It was crazy. It was so crazy.
So we go there. I mean, so I call her. I'm scared shitless because I'm scared of her. And
Yeah.
she's like, oh, it's work. Don't even worry about it. Like, if I didn't say it was a work event, because it really wasn't a work event.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't. I mean, yes, we were doing it for the station and the show. Like, we were going to get content. So yes,
Yeah.
technically it was a work
For the
event.
plot, yeah.
It was totally for the plot. So when we were able to go, I was like, I don't believe we're fucking do this. So we took your car. I think I drove both ways.
You
Yeah.
drove, yeah. You drove because like I'm a terrible driver. I would have died.
Yeah, we didn't trust you. I'm like,
Yeah,
but
not in LA. Are you kidding? No.
I'm like, I can't take my car, but I can drive yours. You're like, perfect.
Yeah, cool. Let's go. Oh my god, I can't believe we did that. That was definitely a once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah, that. And then second favorite is probably seeing Ariana, seeing Ari.
Oh my
Seeing Ari
god.
during the Sweetener tour was one of the best. I can't say it's the best. I'm still trying to figure that out, but it's
No,
one of the best. Seeing
breathing
Breathing.
with the like instrumental intro of her singing for that show was insanity.
And we got free tickets through my work. I had no idea to the day before. Like, I told Jessica this, remember? I was like, Jessica,
Oh yeah.
the Ari concert is on Saturday, the weekend you're coming. But I
Mm-hmm.
can't guarantee I get tickets because that's how it works in radio. Like, you never know
Yeah.
if you're going to get free tickets or not. It's just like, God, right? The Friday, the day that Jessica came in, or it was like the morning after, I still had to go to work because you came in like on a
Yeah.
Thursday night, remember?
Yeah.
I'm like, I still don't know if we're going to Ari. You're like, it's fine. We'll just go to New York. I'm like, you're right.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So come back from work right after, and I go, bitch, I got Ari tickets, and we lost it. We lost it.
It was like one of the best. No, it definitely one of the best concerts we've ever seen ever.
Ever.
In addition to the 2 times we saw Beyonce.
See, I mean, like the memories go list like on and on. Chicago, Beyonce. San Diego,
Okay.
Beyonce.
I will say us finding out, because that we saw Beyonce for the first time together. Us finding out we were seeing Beyonce is probably one of the best memories as well, because we were working the event, and was it Qualcomm still?
Yeah.
And how did who gave us the tickets?
You don't
Was it
remember?
Smash? Who was
No,
it?
you're not even ready for this memory. We were working the event, no tickets available.
Yeah, no tickets.
Like zero done.
No, we went into it like we're just working the event and that's it. And like we were gonna sit outside and listen to her from the outside. Like that was that.
So we're working the event, and during the event, do you remember a bumblebee flew by while you were working?
Yes, it was a sign. No, I remember. I was like, "Oh my god, this is a sign. Like something's about to happen. We're gonna see Beyonce." I thought when I said that, I thought like we were gonna see her outside. Like I thought she was gonna like come out somewhere. Yeah.
Crazy ass. What ended up happening is listeners came up. Do you remember now?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Didn't someone give us the tickets?
Yes. So
Okay, no.
listeners came up to you, specifically you, and said, "Hey," like it was like DL. It was like, "Hey, so we won these tickets to you guys, but we like got better seats," kind of thing.
Yes.
Remember? They got better seats, and they're like, "We don't know anyone that want these tickets. Do you guys want them back?" And you said, "Stephanie," you screamed, "Stephanie."
Yeah, no, I screamed. Now, I remember I fucking screamed. Yeah.
So we're like 20 million thoughts because we're like, fuck, when are we have to pack up. We have to get our shit in the vehicle.
Like, what are we going to do? Yeah.
Did we end up staying and leaving with the vehicle? I don't remember.
No, yeah, we stayed with the vehicle because it took us for fucking ever to get out of the parking lot in the station vehicle with our big ass car.
Yeah. So we just stayed with the vehicle and then we left with the vehicle?
Yeah.
I don't remember that part because we had to have. We couldn't have left and came back.
No, we had the fucking van, and like and everyone was playing Beyonce, and our windows were down, and we're just like playing Beyonce, stuck in the fucking parking lot. Yeah, that was insane.
That was an insane memory too. It's like, how do you choose between all those memories?
Can you believe that someone gave us those tickets? That's so kind.
It is, and I really think about like, because we obviously were making pennies. We could not have afforded Beyonce tickets. It's like God was like, here, for all your hard work. Here you go.
For real. No, it was the fucking best.
We have the greatest memories.
So, I know. Oh my God, I can't. We have so many. So now I have a few like rapid fire questions for you before we end. Okay.
Okay.
Question number 1, what's your favorite karaoke song?
So I love Michael Jackson. So I'll probably be like, Rock With You or Human Nature.
Crowd pleaser. What's a movie everybody loves that you can't stand?
Oh my God. Well, I try to get into like those classic movies like Shawshank Redemption and all those like 90s classics. And I don't know, they bore me. Like Pulp Fiction, also old. I'm like,
you're like, no? You're like, I don't get it?
Well, maybe it's because I was just like, I don't get it. But maybe I really just need to sit down and have someone like who loves it tell me like what's happening, because I'm like,
no, if you didn't like it, you didn't like it.
And I don't even know if I finished it. So like I need to like, yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. What's your favorite comfort movie or comfort TV show?
Oh my God, favorite comfort movie, Mean Girls, You Got Served.
Oh my God, wow.
Crazy.
Okay. What song do you listen to when you need a good cry?
Oh my God. What's the Sarah Bareilles song?
Oh my God, which one?
Brings me back to you. Gravity?
Yes, it's Gravity. Oh, is it because of So You Think You Can Dance?
Duh.
Oh my God.
And then Fix You by Coldplay.
Yeah. And is it because of the numbers from So You Think You Can Dance? Yep. Mia Michaels was doing her big ones week after week after week. No, she was making
And
all
then
of us
Travis
fucking
Wall
cry.
too.
Yep. No, oh my God, you're right. He's like here and here. Yeah, that's him. Oh my God, I can't.
Kills me. The turns, the leaps, it's over.
Yep. What song do you listen to when like you need to lift your spirit that can help you get through something?
Oh, Cuff It by Beyonce.
Okay.
Cuff It by Beyonce. Or like something like by it's like an old school feeling song that I always love. Like a Janet Jackson song. Like
Totally. Like
All For
Escapade,
You,
all for you.
Escapade. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there an artist or song you think people need to know about?
Oh my God, yes. Hold on.
Mutt by Leon Thomas. We love that one.
Yes. Leon Thomas is a good one. That might be mine too. Okay, so Rose off Blackpink. Her album is like, I'm telling you, you guys, Rosie APT is cute and all, but like
Okay.
really listen to Rosie off Blackpink because she is such a good songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
She like English is her first language, guys. People think it's Korean. Like no, like
Oh.
yeah. No, she's a Korean artist, but like if you really know these K-pop artists that come and do that training in Korea, they're
Yeah.
Korean like nationality, but a lot of them like their families immigrated to like Australia or New Zealand or Thailand. Like if you really
Oh.
know the backstory to a lot of these Korean artists, they're really good. Although she's not like incredible as a dancer because obviously like I'm a dancer at heart, but
Mm-hmm.
as an artist and as a singer and her work is really really good. So Rosie, Blackpink, love you.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, last question. Do you have a non-conventional hack you could share? Like it could be a life hack or a beauty hack. The one I always use as my example is me blow drying my eyelashes because it works. You know what I mean? They stay up. They stay up.
All I gotta say is the first time I ever saw Jessica Dutra blow dry her goddamn mascara on her eyelashes, I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, that's not good for your eyes, first of all. But
My
two,
eyes are fine. Like my eyeballs still work, so.
I saw you with those glasses, girl. Don't be
No. You think that's because no,
Oh,
well,
I
that has
know.
nothing. That has nothing to do with my lashes.
Which is a great hack, and I think it works for you. So um keep doing you. Bring your blow
Mm-hmm.
dryer in your check-in bag. Okay, this is also random, but like our way to reheat rice is to get a wet paper towel and put it over rice and I microwave that. But I don't know if
I
that's
feel like I know that, but do we only know that because we're Asian? I
I
feel like
know. Like I
that's
don't
how
think
we
that's
all reheat our
unconventional.
food. But it's true though. Maybe people just be like raw dogging their microwave and like not putting anything on their food and it's just dry as fuck and you guys wonder why. That could
Like
help a lot of people. Who knows? Maybe not everyone's doing that.
I mean, James didn't know it when we
He
started
didn't?
dating. No. I'm
Maybe
like,
that's a thing people don't know then. That's weird.
so I told him like when I was over at his house, I'm like, yeah, I just got a wet paper towel. And he goes, oh my God, I never knew that.
It changes like your
Mm,
rice won't be hard on top. And but
mm.
I do that anytime I'm heating up anything. Wet paper towel
Oh, no
for the
way.
moisture. Yeah, everything.
Oh, shit. Like
And it makes a
what? What
difference.
else do you do?
If I'm like, let's say we have a meal and it's like fucking chicken and mashed potatoes or whatever, like whatever it is, I always put a damp paper towel on top.
Oh, when my sink starts to get smelly, like the faucet in the kitchen, hella ice, put it down the sink, and then do the little garbage disposal and hot water down the ice, garbage disposal. And it works almost every time. And then just some baking soda.
Period. What are you looking forward to?
My nephew is graduating from the police academy. He's going to be
Yay.
CHP, California Highway Patrol, right? And we're going to Sacramento. We're going to see him. He's going to be the flag bearer. He's going to run around the Capitol. Never would have thought that I would have family in law enforcement because this is our first family member in law enforcement. And I know how incredibly hard and the sacrifices that people make to be in law enforcement and their families. I'm extremely excited, although I'm extremely terrified for him because I know how dangerous the job is going to be. I know at
Yeah.
the end of the day what he's doing for our family and putting his name on the map is really something to be proud of.
Yay. We're happy for
What?
him.
I know. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, that's my final question. Is there anything else you want to share? Anything that people need to know?
I just want to say because I got to visit Jessica in Baltimore
And you're
and
like, and I hate Maryland. And
And
I
this is
still hate your fucking crab cake. So.
the weirdest town I've ever been in. No. No. Seeing you in person in the city you've made a name for yourself there, it was so just like I never got to tell you in person, but
Is that
because I
weird? Was it
like
weird?
it
You're
was
like, what the
weird.
fuck?
It was weird because it wasn't like I was seeing you in your element, like doing your thing. It was just because like we were like going around the town and you were showing me. But I really got to like take a step back and like think about our trip and be like, wow, like she really did that. You really went out there. You went to the East Coast. You brought Gerald along and he was down for it. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm just so proud of you guys. It's so hard to do. Like people don't understand going to a town, or maybe some people do, but having that moment of looking back at where we came from in San Diego as like two little phone screeners to
Yeah.
like where we are now and seeing you in Baltimore, it made me just so proud of you and proud of our friendship because it's so hard to keep relationships nowadays, especially that
Mm-hmm.
are long distance. So I'm just
Yeah.
so grateful for you and I love you.
I love you. Thanks for saying that. I love you.
My best friend.
I love you so much.